funeral is about to begin, sir.
I think we just picked up Dracula. It's got a death curse.
Are they slow moving, Chief?
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
Welcome back to another episode of Never Not Horror. I am Steve Clark.
And I am Rich Hansel.
So this is episode 5. If you've been with us through 4, I think you might be on board for the ride. So welcome aboard. So as we do each episode, we do a deep dive into a horror movie. If this is your first time, we will open up with some intro history that we have to the movie. Then we will do some behind the scenes, fun fact, cast, crew kind of information. Then we will do a full plot walkthrough with spoilers. So if you have not seen the movie we're covering, that is where you're going to want to take a time out and go watch the movie and then come back. And then at the end, we will give our personal Never Not Horror Howl ratings. So this week, we take turns each episode. So this is Rich's week to choose. And where are we going, Rich?
We are going to 1981. We're going to do The Howling.
The Howling. 1980. I think this is our first 80s movie so far, I think.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
So the 80s is a glorious time in horror. So
Absolutely.
So people who know me that I've tipped off that this is what this episode was going to be were surprised to know that for the first time in this podcast's short history, we are doing a movie that I had not seen before.
Whoa, yeah.
So I was aware of it, of course. I knew it's a popular werewolf movie, but other than that, I knew not, and I knew it had Dee Wallace in it. So that's my. I'll just go ahead and do my quick history because that's basically it. I don't have a history with this movie. I know Dee Wallace from Cujo, and I knew it was a werewolf movie, and I knew people thought highly of it. I know there's several sequels that people do not think highly of at all. Like I think it's notoriously bad.
I've never watched one because everybody just kills it, so they knock it so bad that I've never watched it.
I've heard that they are like exceptionally awful. So, but this one. The original, The Howling, is not awful. No spoilers yet, but for me, that's basically it. Like I knew of it, but somehow it was just under my radar, and I never did see it. So
and you never read the book?
No. I think I had heard from listening to other podcasts that it was based on a book. So watching it now and seeing it in the credits based on the book, I would like to read the book now that I've seen the movie. I don't know how similar the book and the movie are, but
I think they're pretty far apart. But that's what I've just heard in interviews with the cast and crew.
Gotcha. It's maybe like Jaws. For some reason, I think of it like that. I compare it to the book of Jaws, which I know has a lot more than the movie does.
Yeah,
but.
It maybe it does.
Right. So,
but I do know. I did hear today. I think just today I was doing some research on The Howling, and Stephen King gave a blurb.
A
blurb on the cover of the book, I guess. So
that helps a lot.
Yeah, that'll sell you some books.
Yeah. So okay, so yeah, I mean that's all I got. It was fun though. This is one of the reasons I wanted to do this because it's going to put us in a position, both of us, where we're going to see movies that, for one reason or another, we had not seen before. So
yeah,
I was happy to watch this movie. I had to jump through a couple hoops to get. Well, not really. It's not super widely available.
I can't find it.
You can rent it on Amazon Prime, but what I ended up doing is there is a streaming service called BFI, British Film Institute, and it's on there. And I got a 1 week free trial on Amazon for that.
All right.
It may have lapsed today, so I might have bought a month of the British Film Institute, but. There was some other horror movies in there, so I might give it a look. So it's definitely available on DVD. So
I got it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, there are ways to watch it, but So yeah, go. You're gonna have more to say here, so go ahead.
Yeah, so the first time I ever saw The Howling was, I would think it would be about between 1982 and 1983. So it had to been it was a fairly new movie. But my dad had bought a laser disc from a guy that he worked with at General Motors, and with that came, it must have been 65 or 70 laser discs, and one of those was The Howling. And the reason I think it was around 82 or 83 was the movies that came with this player was like, there was The Howling, American Werewolf in London, the Stripes, Rocky, Dressed to Kill, Chinatown, all stuff made in 1980 or 1981 pretty much. So I assumed, I'm trying to recollect, and that would seem to fit the year. But we wore it out, especially one of the transformation scenes. Really, really good. We watched it all. And of course, there's another scene that the neighborhood boys would rush over so we could watch it. But yeah, I love this movie. I don't want to say too much because, spoilers and whatnot, but
I do think it's fair, if I can jump here, like when we do these intro parts, a lot of times we say that we love this movie, but we have seen instances where when we get critical about it through our walkthrough, it doesn't necessarily mean, just because we say we love it doesn't mean it's going to be a 5-star review for us.
Yeah,
so.
There's a lot of nostalgia with it
absolutely.
for me. That list of 65 or 70 laser discs that he came home with today, I bet 40 of those movies are on my 100 greatest films of all time. It was like the greatest movie haul of all time. It was just awesome. He brings these home, and we're like, what?
A treasure trove.
Yeah. So that's when I saw the movie. And I don't watch it every year. I watch it, once every 3 or 4 years. I'll put it in and watch it. So it's not one of those go-to movies for me, but I appreciate it. Yep. So that's it. That's my history.
Very good. All right. Well, we will transition into some behind the scenes and fun fact kind of things. So let's take a look and see what went down behind scenes on The Howling.
Do you know the story behind the story?
"1981, The Howling" was directed by Joe Dante.
Gremlins, Small Soldiers, Piranha, The Burbs.
The Burbs.
Great movies.
I was really excited when I saw that because I love The Burbs.
I love The Burbs also.
That is one of my all-time. It's not a horror movie. It's a comedy. It's a dark comedy.
Yeah.
But it's one of my favorite non-horror movies.
Yeah, and this was his third directing gig, I think, and his first major one.
All right. Starring Dee Wallace. Well, like I said earlier, I knew her from Cujo.
Christopher Stone, who
as Bill,
was married to Dee Wallace.
Okay, see, I didn't know that. See,
yeah,
I'm leaning on Rich on this one because I don't know this movie.
There was actually a funny story. They were looking for the lead character for this, and they were sitting around and spitballing about it, and Dee Wallace was in there, and she said, well, there's a guy named Christopher Stone. You should check him out, and she gave him his number. And Joe Dante called that number, and Dee Wallace answered the phone. She said, hello. He said, oh, I'm sorry. I meant to call somebody else, Dee. I'm sorry to bother you. I'm looking for that Christopher Stone you recommend. She goes, oh, you got the right number. Hold on a minute. Honey.
Perfect.
So, yeah, they ended up, I don't think they was married yet, but they were engaged to get married. At least that was during, I think that by the time the movie came out, they had been married.
All right.
So I thought that was pretty funny.
That is cool. We got Patrick McNee, Dennis Duggan, Belinda Belaski, Kevin McCarthy, who whenever I see this guy, I think, have you ever seen the Weird Al movie UHF?
Yeah.
He's the president of the other channel that's trying to run him out of business. That's what I think of when I see that guy.
He was in Piranha, that Joe Dante.
Okay. Yeah. Never seen that either.
That's a good movie.
Yep. So we got him, John Carradine,
Oh yeah, I
Slim
love
Pickens,
John Carradine in this.
and Elizabeth Brooks, who plays Marcia, the man eater in the colony. And I'm sure you either knew this or read about it, but very tragically, she died in her 40s from brain cancer.
I did not know that.
Oh, you still didn't know?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. She was.
Oh no.
She was only in her mid 40s and she died from brain cancer.
Wow, that stinks.
I know. I was bummed when I read it.
And Christopher Stone has passed away. He passed away in 95, I think, and they were still married, Dee Wallace and him, and I think he had a heart attack, I want to say.
Okay.
But yeah, we have the budget. Now I'm getting different things on the budget, but I think the original budget was like $500,000, but it ended up going up to $1.7 million, and then it grossed $17.9 in U.S. and Canada.
That's it for a horror movie, like a new franchise. That's
Yeah.
a
And
solid effort.
when that came out in 1981, two other werewolf movies also came out, which was The American Werewolf in London and Wolfen, which has been a long time since I saw Wolfen, but to me that was the weakest one out of the three.
I feel like I've seen that one, but I won't swear to it. Definitely American Werewolf in London. I've seen that. Now, I think critically or public opinion, everybody, the big selling point of this movie is the special effects, because
Yes.
it's mostly all practical effects.
Yeah, Rob Bottin, amazing job. Who is
Yes.
a legend when you look up his work. He did The Thing. He does Game of Thrones. I mean, he's an absolute legend. He's right up there with Rick Baker. And actually, Rick Baker was signed on to do this, and he left to go work on An American Werewolf in London.
Okay.
So Rob Bottin had to step in and and he was 20 years old.
Jeez.
And Joe Dante said, "Do what you want." He gave him 100% creative control of the werewolves. They said, "Well, what about the pictures? The diagrams?" It's up to you.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. A 20-year-old kid get that kind of.
Yeah, you gave him an opportunity and he took care of business.
Absolutely.
Because it's amazing. Like, and I think most horror people do, but I love practical effects.
I do too.
Because
yeah.
CGI looks, sometimes it works, but a lot of times it looks shitty.
Yeah.
And to see movies like this, there are a couple parts that are, I guess it's CGI, if you could call it that, 1981, some digital stuff.
There's a few bad things.
When it happens, it's like, oh, God.
Yeah.
After you've seen the glory of the practical effects, it's like,
Right.
Jesus. But yeah, it is excellent.
Yeah, and it's also, like we mentioned at the beginning, based on Gary Brandner's book.
I'm curious to read it, for sure.
The Howling. And that was a 3-part book, I'm pretty sure, or if it wasn't 3 parts, it was 3 separate books, but it was all to do with The Howling.
Okay. Like a trilogy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so yeah, Rotten Tomato scores on this movie is pretty respectable. The tomato meter critic score is 75%. That's good.
Yeah.
And then the popcorn viewer rating is 60%. So a little lower, but still, I mean, that's higher than Paranormal Activity that we just did last episode. So yeah, pretty solid reviews across the board. It's funny because as a franchise, if you want to call it that, I mean, it is. I know from, like, there are channels that do bad movies and laughably bad movies, and the Howling sequels fall into that basket, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Like, I think they are god-awful. So it's wild that the first movie is really good, and then the sequels are just garbage.
Right.
I mean, I'm speaking based just off of what I've heard. I've never seen any of the sequels either.
Me neither.
But popular opinions, like one of them, there was only one other Howling movie that had a Rotten Tomato score, and it was like it almost seemed like a reboot maybe from the 2011 or something. But it had a 17% on Rotten Tomatoes. So
really, I did hear that Netflix bought the rights to it and was back in like 2018 or something, and development must fell apart or something.
I saw something that Andy Muschietti, who did the It remake, the new movies, the two It part, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2.
Yep.
I saw something that he had the rights to it, but I don't know if that's fallen through or if that's still a work in progress or not. But that could be good. I would be interested to see a modern take on this if they stick to the practical effects and stuff. So
yeah, I'm sure they won't.
Probably not. Way cheaper to do the CGI stuff. But all right, well, it is a cult classic, and we'll go ahead. And you got anything else before we get into the plot?
I don't think so. I love the fact that John Carradine's in this. He has some awesome, played Dracula countless times, House of Frankenstein, House of Dracula, so good to see him. And I also like to see Slim Pickens. He was mostly a voice actor, a lot of Disney movies and stuff. He was pretty good. But yeah, that's what I have a couple cameos. Roger Corman, did you see him in the telephone booth?
I didn't know. I didn't recognize him. I did read it after the fact.
Yeah.
There's another one too. I just read it today, and I was like, oh, no shit. But I can't remember what it is now.
The guy that worked in the morgue is the guy that wrote the screenplay.
Oh, yeah. Maybe that was it.
I think was his name. That
might have been it. Yep. There's another... I can't wait to get to this part in the walkthrough to see it. You had to have seen it. So we're not going to spoil it till we get there. But there's something happens in this movie, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. And I can't wait to see if I'm... Surely,
I had a few of those moments.
Surely I'm not the only person that saw that. So, all right. Well, so yeah, and this is fun too because I intentionally stayed quiet about this movie. Was when Rich picked it last time, or after we recorded episode 4, he knew that I hadn't seen it, so I still have not told him how I feel about this movie. So this is going to be a total surprise when we get to the reviews on what I think. So that's fun. But so yeah, we're going to get into the full plot walkthrough with the spoilers. So if you have not seen the movie like me 2 weeks ago, then take a time out. The British Film Institute streaming app on Prime Video has it. You can get a free trial of that, or you can rent it on Prime. You can't buy it on Prime, which I like to buy digital movies.
I do too. I don't know why.
I know I'm not really buying it, but I like having instant access. I'm a man of convenience.
Yeah.
But there are ways to watch it, or you can get on eBay or go to a thrift store. I'm sure you can probably find a copy somewhere. So yeah, if you haven't seen it, jump out, check it out. A buddy of mine recently commented that he listened. He's not a big horror guy, but he listened to the podcast. He listened to the Texas Chainsaw episode, and he did what we said, and he paused it.
Oh, really?
At the break here, and he went and watched it for the first time ever, and said it blew his mind.
Really?
Yeah. So
yeah, I imagine it would. A first time watcher of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Shout out to Matt. There you go, buddy. All right, here's your last warning.
Come along now, if you're not too scared.
All right. The Howling opens up with a news report. So it's a TV news report. We meet a Dr. Wagner who is being interviewed on screen, and it's so we cut back and forth between his interview and what we learn is sort of like a loosely police enforced sting operation, kind of.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's being run by the news station, but
yeah, this movie I find is pretty hard to follow. When I was watching it when I was 10 years old, I had no idea what was going on. All I knew was there was boobies in it and there was people turning into werewolves. Pretty much. I had no idea what was going on until I got into probably my 40s and really started rewatching some of these old monster movies.
Right. Like, there's commentary in these? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, boobies and werewolves is about all you need to get a young man to watch your movie.
That's right. Over and over again.
Right. So we get this setup that there is a serial killer named Eddie the Mauler or something like that. And this newscaster, Karen, he's been in contact with her. He's fixated, like an obsession with her. And so the newspaper, or not the newspaper, the news station, I assume with some cooperation from police, have set up this sting.
Yeah, the police were helping.
And she is going to meet him, but they've got her rigged up with like a microphone so they can track where she is. And she's supposed to go to this phone booth downtown, and he's going to call her and tell her where to go so they can meet up. And when she gets to the phone booth, there's some sort of interference. Her mic's not working.
They say it's all the neon.
Yeah.
I think they're in New York maybe, but the neon of the city is making interference.
Right. So they're getting very sporadic audio from her. But Eddie calls her and tells her where to go. So the people, including her her husband, that are in the news studio monitoring, they don't know where she's going. So it's kind of a scramble.
Yeah, Christopher Stone plays the husband, and he gets really upset when they lose contact with her. I think he says, "What kind of shit show are you guys running around here?"
Right. We said we'd be in constant contact. But she doesn't know that, because they can't communicate to her. As
far as she knows, her wire's still working.
So he has sent her to like basically a porn shop. Like they sell magazines, but they've got these video rooms in the back, like sort of like peep shows that you've seen in movies before, but it's video, so it's not actually like people behind the glass or anything. And she goes to this one, and there is a smiley face sticker on the door, which seems to be his calling card thing. Yeah. And she goes in there and sits down, and then Eddie is in there with her, and he puts a quarter in the machine.
Puts his hand on her shoulder, standing behind her, and he starts talking to her.
Yep, tells her to not turn around and just keep looking forward.
And there's a porno.
Yeah, this video, and it's a disturbing porn. It's like a rape video.
Yeah,
so it's
Joe Dante directed that as well.
Really?
He did 2 pornos just for this movie.
Oh, okay. So that wasn't like
no, it wasn't. Okay. He said he hated doing it, but he actually didn't want to have to jump through the hoops to try to get to sign somebody's porno to put in a movie, so he actually made 2 different.
I thought you meant pre-Gremlins. He was making rape porn.
He made it for the film.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
And yeah, so this video she's watching is disturbing, and he's talking to her about how he's gonna light up her whole body, he's just a creep.
His voice starts changing, and when I hear that voice, that's werewolf to me. Just from being a kid, when I hear that that's what you
voice, associate.
Yeah, that's werewolf. Easy.
Yeah. And so eventually he tells her she can turn around, and she turns around, and like the light from the video camera that's playing the movie, so it's like a theater projector thing. And so we're blinded, we can't see what she sees, but she just kind of gasps and then starts screaming, and he grabs her and shoves her into the door. So during all this, we see 2 like beat cops that are in the loop, and they're trying to find her. And they talk to this lady on the street, and she tells them that she saw her, because she's a newscaster. People remember her. They know who she is. And she told her where this porn shop was.
Yeah.
So they go running there. They're actually in there talking to the guy at the counter when she starts screaming, and they run in there, and she kind of comes through the door into the little hallway there, and one of the cops just starts shooting.
Yeah.
So it's just like, so I started shooting, bam, 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 and kills the guy.
Yeah, that's it, but you don't see nothing really.
No, just blood like oozing out from under the door.
Yeah.
And so Karen has, we quickly learned, sort of like trauma amnesia. Yeah, she doesn't remember
PTSD going on.
She doesn't really remember what happened. Right at this time, her boyfriend shows up. Her friend, they're a couple. They're reporters.
Yeah, they work at the same news.
Yeah. So they're all there to support her.
She has to go see the doctor, Dr. Wagner, who's I guess a psychologist, and to try to get her to remember what happened. It's a big thing about wanting to remember what happened. I don't know why they want everybody to remember what happened, because they have the body and case closed, really. But to go with the movie, what'd you see? And she just can't remember.
Right. So, so she's dreaming about it. Like, she's having these flashes, but it's never it's just enough to scare her, but not enough for her to remember what happened.
Yeah.
And then, so this part of the movie, we we go back and forth between her struggling with her amnesia and trauma from what happened, and the reporter couple. It's Chris and Terry, right?
Yes, Chris and Terry.
Chris and Terry.
They're like investigators.
Yeah, like investigative journalists.
Yeah.
And they have gotten a tip on where this guy's apartment was. So they go and check out his apartment, and there are it's definitely the guy. Like, there's newspaper clippings of all the murders hanging up, and there's drawings of wolf people is what it looks like. I mean, I guess you're supposed to, and this is a werewolf movie going in, so it looks like werewolves, and then there's a drawing of a landscape. The guy's a great, talented artist,
right.
for sure. So they find all this stuff.
The big one was the landscape that they saw over, on a cliff overlooking the ocean. And there is a drawing of Karen, a really nice hand-drawn thing of Karen. So this is definitely their guy. Now we go to Karen is meeting with Dr. Wagner, who was being interviewed on the news channel at the beginning of the movie. So he's a psychiatrist. Right. I think he was actually in on the police sting as well.
Yeah. So he's trying to help her remember, and she doesn't remember. So he has a retreat place called the Colony, and he recommends that she go there for a week or two to try to sort of decompress and unwind and do some sessions and see if she can remember what happened and come to terms with the trauma to try to help her heal from it. Well, actually, before that happens, they bring her back to the news channel, and she's going to do like a report about what happened.
Yeah.
And so it'd be the first time she's been on TV since the attack. And she goes out there, she's ready to do it, but then when the cameras come on, she's looking at the camera, she's supposed to be reading the prompter, and you just see what she sees. She sees that rape porn video playing in the camera screen, and it's just too much for her.
Meltdown.
So they have to cut away to something else and take her off the stage. So then she has her appointment with Dr. Wagner, and he recommends that she go to the Colony. So,
she gets to take her husband, which is nice.
Right. So you get the shot of her and Bill driving to the Colony, and she's telling him she's concerned. She doesn't know if she wants to remember, which reasonable.
Yeah, I love the part where she says, "I hope they're not weird," and then cut
I was just going to get to that.
And you're into the Colony,
right.
And you got John Carradine.
Right, it's like, I hope they're not crazy, and then it cuts to this Twilight beach party, and he's like, yeah,
hilarious.
So there's they're at the Colony, and there's a beach party going on. There's a bluegrass band playing. They're cooking barbecue and meat. There's tons of people here. Some
kind of wine, or is it blood or something?
It's good. That's all we know.
Yeah, good party at the Colony.
Right. So you're meeting a bunch of new cast members at this point. The doctor is there, Dr. Wagner. It's his retreat area, but
we meet Donna, which is a lady there that kind of takes to Karen.
Right.
They become quick friends.
Right. So you meet her husband running the barbecue.
Charlie Barton, who's the cattleman or has cattle. He supplied the beef that they're eating that night at the party.
Right. They try to give Bill some meat, and he fills us in that he's a vegetarian, apparently. He tries to stay away from the meat. And we meet Marcia, who is a leather-clad young woman who has eyes for Bill for sure. When she meets him, you can tell right away she's taken with old Bill. But a lot of people recognize Karen. She's a news person locally, so everybody knows who she is, and they're all excited that she's there. I seen you on television.
Yeah.
Get a bunch of that.
Yeah.
The weird old guy that does the wahoo in the beginning. So they're mingling and meeting people, and then it cuts back to him, and he's just kind of staring off into space, and then he flips out and
starts saying weird stuff like, "It just ain't right."
Right. And then he wants to throw himself in the fire, and he's like, I got to end it, got to burn, and he's just his name's Earl, and he's a weird old guy. So you get that.
Dr. Wagner has to talk him off the cliff.
Right. So you get maybe not everybody makes sense for why they're there, but there are other people who are going through some shit and they're trying to figure it out. So yeah, so now they're here, and then we cut to that night after they go back to their bungalow where they're staying. Karen wakes up and she hears howling outside, and
wakes Bill up.
And Bill's pissed about it, kind of. He's grumpy.
He makes fun of her. You're a New York girl. When have you ever heard of howl?
Right, but then after that happens, like the camera pans outside and you see another guy he's Marsha's brother, but he's outside in the bushes, like, and he was kind of creeping on Karen too at the cookout, at the beach party thing. He's a weirdo. TC. Yeah, so you see him crouching in the bushes watching their cabin. Now we jump back to the city, and Terry and Chris, the reporter couple, are at the mortuary, and so they're investigating. They want to see Eddie Quist, who is what they've found is his last name because he signed all his artwork with his full name. They want to see him. They've been tipped off he had like a wolf head tattoo or something, so they want to see it. And it's a funny little embalming room scene, I guess, because like the dude's got his lunch sitting right next to a brain laying on the table.
Those guys, you know.
Yeah, those mortuary guys.
Yeah.
So they want to see the body, so he goes and takes him to the little cooler drawers things. He knocks on it. He's like, Eddie, you got visitors. And then he pulls the door open, and Chris is like, where is he? And his body is gone. And the inside of the door is banged all to shit. Like somebody just beat the hell out of it. So Eddie's body is missing, and there's damage on the inside of the door.
He didn't just get up and walk out on his own, he says.
Right.
Now we get back to the colony.
Mm-hmm.
Don and Karen sitting outside in the dark.
Oh, yeah.
And they hear the cow.
The cows are mooing. So, yeah, they're hanging out, and they hear these cows, and they're mooing, but not normal mooing. It's like they're in pain mooing.
Right.
So they decide to go investigate in the dark in the woods with just a flashlight.
Of course.
And they eventually find a cow, and it has been mutilated. Like its throat's ripped out.
Yeah.
And
pretty nasty.
Yeah. And then they get a nice jump scare because is he a sheriff or is some sort of cop or something?
Yeah, he's
locally?
The sheriff because remember Chris calls the sheriff and he answers. Yeah. So he is the sheriff. Slim Pickens is the actor.
Yep. So the sheriff and another guy are out with guns, and they're investigating the same shit. They find another cow that's been mutilated. So they think maybe coyotes. Well, at first they think the howling that Karen's been hearing and complaining about is coyotes, but the Slim Pickens sheriff says there wasn't no coyote that did that. All right, so the next day there is a hunting party going out to try to hunt. So now they think it's wolves. This is not coyotes that killed the cow. So all the men folk are out on a hunting party, which they take Bill with them, even though he's not a hunter.
Yeah, Bill wants to go.
So Bill and the boys are going hunting, and while they're out, we see a group therapy session with Karen and Dr. Wagner,
trying to get her to remember what happened again. Same
thing again. Like she gets up to the point where he tells her to turn around, but that's where she loses it. Yeah, she doesn't remember what she saw when she turned around. And then we jump back to the city, and now the reporters are at the books. So they're at a bookstore that has like occult books or something. An occult bookstore. Yep.
And this is where we get Dick Miller.
Yeah. He's the guy that owns the bookstore, right? I've seen him in a ton of shit.
All Joe Dante's movies, except 2, I think. He's been in every single one.
He was in the Burbs. He was the garbage man in the
Gremlins.
Burbs. Okay. Yeah.
Gremlins. He was in all of them.
So, stable actor for Joe Dante.
Yeah.
But, so this is the part, when they walk in the bookstore, did you see what I saw?
The nuns?
Well, before they walk in, you see the nuns. They stop and look in the window, and then they go inside, and then you see him, and he's like, we get all types in here.
I must have missed it.
So when they walk in, it's Grandma from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, yes.
Sitting in the corner, the whole chair and everything. Like, they walked in, and I was like,
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Like, that was the prop. It had to be the actual prop from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or an exact replica.
Had to be.
Yeah, because,
all right.
Yeah. I was like, you got to be kidding when I saw that thing. Like, I mean, that's Grandma.
Yeah.
From upstairs in her old rotted body in the rocking chair. And then there's also an armadillo on the counter. So is that another nod to Texas Chainsaw?
Maybe.
Yeah, because he picks it up and walks off with it at one point.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll have to look at that again because it's got it. I didn't find anything that
chair
said,
and everything.
Yeah, it's got to be Grandma. Anyway, so they talk a little bit to the bookstore owner about werewolves, and he tells them a lot of it's Hollywood nonsense.
Yeah.
Like the full moon thing doesn't matter; they can turn anytime they want to. And
silver bullets do work.
Yep.
Fireworks.
Yeah. Oh, he also mentions that if you don't kill them right, they'll regenerate, which is kind of fuel for the fire. That if Eddie was a werewolf, then they didn't kill him right, which they didn't.
Right.
He can regenerate, and so I mean they're not on that path yet, but they're suspicious of something.
I think they originally went in there to just look to see if it could be some kind of cult following or something. And it turned into werewolves, Dick Miller says, and it kind of piques their interest. You're like, oh man, we better maybe it really. They say werewolves, and they say okay. It was kind of weird. That was one of the things about the movie that kind of got me. It's like,
so we're on
you
board.
Didn't need much convincing.
We're on board with werewolves right now. Okay. All right. That's New York City, I guess. All right. So they buy a couple books about the occult and werewolves, and they're going to do some more research. So we go back to the hunting party on the colony. Bill has killed himself a rabbit.
Yeah.
First shot. So we get a scene where he's walking around with or he walks by TC.
Yep, TC,
which is Marsha's brother, and he's like, "What do you guys do with that?" I'm like, "We eat them." And he's like, "Well, I don't eat meat." And he's like, "Well, it's a sin to kill or to not eat what you kill."
Right.
But he tells him that his sister would be happy to cook it for him.
And she just lives right over there.
Right next to where he's sitting. And I don't know if Bill knows who his sister is at that time or not.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But so he's like, "Are you sure?" And he's like, "Absolutely." So he goes on up to the cabin, and so he's in there with Marsha, who's got eyes for him. We could tell that from earlier.
Yeah, that's the sister, and she is a nymphomaniac. That's what they say early on in the party.
At the beach party.
Yeah, they do say she's a nymphomaniac.
Mm-hmm. A man-eater. But so he's in there, and he asks her how long it's going to take to cook it, and she's like, "I'll cook it later." And then she tries to put the moves on, or she kisses him.
She does plant one right on him.
And he kisses her back for
just a second.
Yeah, and then he violently shoves her away.
Yeah, and storms out, goes home.
Yeah, and Marsha just kind of smirks when he goes. So we cut to him heading back to their bungalow or whatever. And he gets attacked while he's on his way back, and by what appears to be a wolf or something. And it bites his arm. I'm not sure if it bites him or scratches him.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought they said scratch, but it could be bite.
Either, one way or the other, he's been scratched. So we go. He's back at the office, and Doc is patching him up, giving him like a tetanus shot or some rabies shot or something.
Yeah. Karen wants to go home, but the doctor says, "Oh, he's in no shape to travel."
So Karen calls Chris and Terry to let them know what happened to Bill, and Terry is going to go. They're both going to come, but Chris tells Terry to go ahead. He's going to finish up a few loose ends. He's trying to pitch like this whole cult thing to the news station. So she goes on their own, and there's a little bit of foreshadowing before they leave, because it's nighttime when she calls, and they're watching the Wolfman on TV.
Yeah. Perfect.
And as soon as she tells Chris that Karen told her that Bill got bit by a wolf, it cuts to that scene in the Wolfman where she's like, "Whoever gets bit by a wolf and survives becomes a wolf," or whatever. I didn't write it down, but that idea. So that's a little foreshadowing. So you get this. It cuts right to when Terry gets there, and you get a Terry and Karen reunion. So Karen's super happy to have a familiar face there.
Yeah, I love when she brought the bucket of chicken out for everybody eating. Mm-hmm. Bill's just over there chomping away, the vegetarian Bill.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry, I forgot. You don't eat meat." And he's like, "No problem at all." When I get hungry, I'll eat anything.
He's just mowing down on it.
He is not a vegetarian anymore. So next, you get Karen and Bill are in bed that night, and Karen tries to put the moves on Bill, but he's reading a book and he's not interested.
Yeah,
so
they have a little bit of a fight.
He turns her down, and Karen's frustrated, but she just rolls over, tells him goodnight. So then she's having a nightmare, and she wakes up, and Bill is gone.
Uh-oh, where'd Bill go?
Right, where's Bill? Bill is in his bathrobe walking through the woods.
Yeah.
and Marcia is out there to meet him. And we get the seduction that has been teased is about to pay off. So she takes off her stuff, Bill drops the robe, and they get at it by the firelight.
That's right. Great scene. Great scene.
Yeah.
And I did hear that she was really against showing any nudity on camera. And they said, don't worry, you'll be behind the fire because they're around a bonfire. And she says, okay. And yeah, bam, there it was. She saw it. I don't know how she didn't, get it cut out of there, but
man, that sucks.
That does.
I'm wanting to think it was a Howling movie. Also, a similar thing happened to a girl that was against having nudity, her being shown in the movie. Like, it was she only agreed to do a very brief scene. And then they, apparently from what I heard, they basically replay that scene over the end credits over and over and over again. So, the whole end credits is her nudity. Yeah. So, I don't know if that was the same I don't think it was the same people. But I did not know that about her. So that sucks because it is full frontal.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I hate to hear that.
Yeah. Old Dirty Joe Dante.
Well, so they are getting at it by the firelight, and then we get the reveal that they are both werewolves.
Yep.
They start turning.
Yeah.
And so we're to understand now that she was the wolf that attacked him, and she turned him by biting him or scratching him or whatever it was. And we get werewolf loving. And they're just howling at the moon and going at it. She scratches his back and draws blood. And you don't get the full transformation that we get later, but they're transforming and their fangs and the hair and werewolf love.
Yeah, and as the camera's pulling away, that's where you get that animated shot of
it looks so bad.
Yeah, it does look bad.
Yeah. But while this is going, they keep cutting to other people hearing all the howling because it's not the normal wolf howls, it's the love howls, and those are louder. And so you see Terry wakes up and hears it, and she goes to the window with her recorder, and she's recording it. Dr. Wagner hears it. So, and then the next morning, you see Bill coming back into the bedroom, and Karen is still asleep, and he just... You get there's maybe some remorse there.
Yeah, he shows a little, he looks at his hands like, how could I do that?
Right. What have I done? So now we go. Terry is out on her own on the colony, and she's looking at the drawing. She's looking at her papers. I think she's got some of the drawings.
Yeah. And
she realizes that the coastline that she's looking at is the coastline from the drawing that they found in Eddie Quist's apartment.
Which they infatuated with at the apartment.
Right. They notice how exceptionally good it is.
So,
and it is spot on. It's a very good drawing.
So her being an investigative journalist, she realizes that Eddie Quist must have been to the colony.
Right. He's been here before to have drawn it like this. So she goes back to the doctor's office to call Chris and let him know that the landscape drawing is at the colony. Or no, she's going to do that, but she gets lured.
Yes,
there's a voice whispering her to her. Terry. Yeah, Terry. And she gets lured. I think it's even over here.
I think they do.
Yeah. But she ends up getting lured to Marcia and TC's cabin. Is it TC or CT?
TC.
And she goes in and she finds, much like Eddie's apartment in New York, a bedroom that is very similar setup. There's drawings and news clippings everywhere, and there's even the smiley face sticker.
Yeah.
Which has come because it was on the phone booth in the beginning, then it was on the porn theater door, and it's here also. And then like a closet door or something, or just a wall. I couldn't really tell. Starts banging, and a werewolf attacks Terry in the cabin. So she's running for her life, trying to get away. She ends up hiding like under the porch or something, and she ends up cutting its arm off.
Yeah.
She finds a little hatchet, and she cuts his arm off, and we get this cool scene where the werewolf arm slowly morphs back into a human arm once it's been severed.
Yeah, and it is pretty cool. I don't understand how it like totally went away, like in Wizard of Oz, the shoes, but then it came back and turned human.
Yeah, but it's still a cool effect.
Yeah, it was a good effect. It actually really was.
So once Terry has cut off the werewolf's arm and it retreats, she goes back to the office and she calls Chris to tell him he needs to get up there now because shit is going down. It's all real.
Yeah, they're werewolves.
Yeah, the real werewolves are real, and she's been attacked by one. And mixed in this, we get a scene where Karen and Bill are in their bungalow, and Bill comes out of the bathroom without a shirt on, and Karen sees the scratches on his back. And she already suspects some shenanigans with Marcia, because Marcia is making no effort to hide that she wants some of Bill.
Yeah.
And they get into a fight, and she says something about Marcia.
She walks by you like a bitch in heat.
Exactly. And Bill backhands the bejesus out of her.
He does. He absolutely.
It's brutal.
Yeah, and of course she's pissed now, and she gets up and leaves.
She's gonna leave. She's
gonna go call Chris and have him come pick up her and Terry.
Yeah, and they're getting out of there, and he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah,
that happens, and then we see we see Terry in the doctor's office calling Chris, and he tells her to look and see if there's like a file cabinet in there, which there is. He tells her to look, and sure enough, there's a file in there for Eddie Quist.
And he even says, look under Q for Quist.
Right, which Terry's panicking. She might need some direction. Sure enough, there's a file there, and then there's a werewolf attack in the office.
Yeah.
And Chris is still on the line, so he's hearing all this go down, and Terry's screaming.
I thought it was great when she pulled out Eddie's file, because first she pulled out Marcia's, and then TC, and then Eddie, they're all
related. Yeah, they're all siblings.
And as she's holding it, the werewolf reaches down and grabs the file from her.
Yeah. Just picks it right out of her hand. Yeah. Like, that's how you know he's there. He just takes the file from her. Not like jerky, oh, let me take that from you.
And he is full-fledged werewolf form at this point.
So, unfortunately, Terry meets her end here. The werewolf kills her, and Chris has to listen to it on the phone. Yeah. He doesn't necessarily know she's dead, but he knows she's been attacked. So he is, we get a scene of him stopping back by that
Dick Miller's store.
Yeah, because we forgot to mention, or maybe we did, but he even had a box of silver bullets there that somebody had commissioned him to do and then never picked him up. Right. So Chris goes back and picks those up and tells him to bill him for it, because he just runs in and grabs them and takes off. So he's busting ass to get out to the colony to try to save Terry, because he knows shit is going down. So Karen, who has left Bill in anger, goes to Doc's office. Must be the only place there's a phone, because that's where they keep going to call somebody.
Yeah, so she's going to go over there.
And she finds the mayhem of what's transpired there, and Terry's body, which she takes pretty well.
I thought she was really calm. Right. You know, she saw Eddie Quist's face at that theater, that porno theater, and absolutely lost her mind. Now she sees her best friend mangled.
And she's like, oh.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Right. Yeah. I think Dee Wallace does a great job through this movie.
She does. That had to be direction.
That one scene was like, she did not react very well to that at all.
Maybe that was the last scene they shot, and she was so done with the movie.
Maybe.
Because she goes really hardcore on some of the scares and screams.
Yeah, I definitely made note of that. Or no, she covers Mary's body is on a table, like a gurney thing, so she covers her with a sheet. And then she goes to use the phone. She covers Terry's body with a sheet. She goes to use the phone, and then the sheet, like the camera cuts away from it, and then it comes back to where you can see it again. and then the body under the sheet jumps up out of there, and there's been a switcheroo, and now Eddie, the werewolf, is what's under the sheet, so he is attacking, or he's going to attack her, but this is where we get the big transformation.
He's not
scene.
in werewolf form anymore.
Yeah, he
looks bad. He don't look good. He's got the bullet holes in his forehead still.
Yeah, and he's a very grungy, mangy looking fella, even when he's not a werewolf. But this is probably what this movie is most famous for. He transforms from that normal for him to full werewolf right in front of her, and it's on camera, so you see, and it's really well. It's amazing. I mean,
awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of a better way to show that. I mean, just skin pulsing and bubbling and stretching, and I mean, if you take it in like some single still shots, like pictures from the movie, it doesn't necessarily look great. It looks kind of goofy sometimes, but when it's a video and when you watch it all together, it's amazing.
It does. It's really good. And I do know that they never actually showed the entire werewolf at one time. Sometimes they would show just the legs walking, and then they would show the upper body. So they didn't actually make a whole entire werewolf. So he might be behind a desk or something. You don't see his legs.
Right.
Or then you see his legs, but not his top.
Part of that might have been to try to make it look bigger than it really was.
Right, it could have been.
Yeah.
But these are major, giant werewolves. They're like nothing I'd ever seen.
Yeah, these are...
If you've seen Dog Soldiers, think that.
Okay. I've never seen Dog Soldiers. Might be a future episode.
Yeah.
That's another one I'm aware of. So yeah, he does the full transformation, and it's crazy. But then once he's full werewolf and he goes to attack her, there's a conveniently placed jar of acid on the counter, and she throws it in his face and lets her escape and get away. So after that, she's running. She goes to get in the car and leave, and the sheriff shows up with another guy with a gun, and they stop her, and they take her. They say they've been waiting on her, and they take her to this barn. And we get the big reveal that not only is Eddie and his siblings werewolves, the whole colony are werewolves.
The entire colony.
Everybody.
Including Dr. Wagner.
Yep. Old Doc Wagner from the very beginning of the movie on the newscast is a werewolf.
He's a werewolf.
And so they want Karen to accept the gift, is what they call it, to become a werewolf. But we learn here that there's like a rift in the werewolf community because Dr. Wagner is pushing, they need to evolve with the times and kind of mix with the regular population.
He wants to let human beings know that there is werewolves so they can live in harmony together, feed on cattle. We won't eat the humans.
Right. Yeah. But the most of the colony is not on board. They don't want to abandon the old ways. They're not meant to mix with the regular people. So you get the feeling this has been an ongoing debate, that they've been trying to humor Dr. Wagner and do things his way, but they're just not feeling it. And they're arguing because Karen is a well-known person, that she can't just disappear because people are going to investigate, so they have to... It's just a scuffle between the colony people.
So the plan is all went to hell.
Yeah, basically. Things have not gone the way they wanted it to go. And we kind of get the impression here that Marcia is sort of the leader, like the ringleader of the we want to stay in the old ways. Yeah. So Chris, who has been in hot pursuit of the colony since getting his phone call from Terry, finally makes it there. And he goes in, he's got his shotgun loaded with silver bullets, and he goes into the doc's office and finds Terry's body, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's still there. But then Eddie shows up, and he's not werewolf, but his face is just mangled. And this is really
acid.
good. From where Karen threw acid on him. His face is just a melted mess.
It is good. Special
really
effects.
good. I mean, it looks nasty.
It does.
It looks good. I mean, it's just all done well. Like, it's filmed so it's dark. You don't see a ton of detail on it, but it's enough to be like, ugh, God.
Yeah, so Rob Bottin, man, hats off to you, brother.
Absolutely the star of this movie.
Yeah.
But he took Chris's gun from him, and obviously bullets aren't going to kill him. Like, he's already been shot before. So he's basically toying with Chris. He's like, here, take it, and gives him the gun back. But
little does he know,
there's silver bullets in there. So he starts to wolf out again. He starts to go through the transformation, and Chris pops him with the silver bullet and takes him right out.
Yep, done.
Yep. So we're back in the barn, and the werewolf divide has turned, and the werewolves have turned on Dr. Wagner. And so I think one of them like chops him in the throat and takes him down, and they're gonna kill Karen and make it look like an accident so that they don't get invested. So they've got sort of a plan going, and they go to take her. They're gonna burn the car up and stuff.
Yeah,
so
throw it off a cliff
right,
or something.
yeah. So they go to take her out of the barn, and then Chris shows up with his shotgun and silver bullets, and same thing as Eddie. The wolves are like, "Oh, you got a gun," and then he starts shooting.
He lets them know first. That was kind of odd. He's like, "I have silver bullets," and I thought that was funny. I mean, why tell? Why let him know?
Let him think you don't.
But when he does,
It almost feels like maybe they don't know that for sure that will work either.
Yeah.
Because they don't like run away. So he starts taking some of them out, and it sort of creates a panic. The wolves are like,
they start transforming.
Yeah, they know they're in danger now. So he kills several of them, and then the rest of them he kind of forces them back into the barn, and they close the barn doors and block it. And he takes some kerosene or gasoline and spills it all around the building and lights it on fire. So he's trying to burn up the rest of the werewolves inside. Oh, I wrote down a good line here, but I didn't. It's after the fact now. But the old Earl, the old guy, when they first turn on Dr. Wagner, he tells him, he says, "You can't tame what's meant to be wild, Doc. It ain't natural."
It ain't natural. Yeah, he did. That's great. Yeah. Great line.
That's a good line. I felt
that's probably my favorite line right there.
Yeah, that's a good one. One of the few I
John
actually wrote down.
John Carradine saying that as an old man.
Yeah, it ain't natural. After they board up the barn and set it on fire, Chris and Karen leave in the car, but then they get attacked again. Werewolves have gotten out. The sheriff, Slim Pickens, is set up a roadblock and starts shooting at him, but they end up killing him and taking the sheriff car.
Yeah.
So they escape again, but the wolves are coming. They've gotten out of the barn, and they attack the car. They take off, but one of them breaks through the back windshield,
gets in the back seat,
and bites Karen.
Oh no!
Oh no! Our main final girl.
She ends up shooting him.
Yep, she gets the gun, turn around, and shoots him, and it's Bill.
Yeah,
she
looks in the back seat, and he's transformed back to a human form.
Yeah, after they die, they turn back.
Yeah, she sees Bill's tattoo, and she says, "Oh, Bill."
Right, it's sad. She got bitten by her man. She knows what's going to happen now. Like, she's been bit. She knows enough to know that she's been given the gift, as they call it.
Right.
And she tells Chris as they're driving away that they have to warn people. People have to know about this. So now we cut to sometime in the future. Can't be very long, but enough. And we're back at the news station, and Karen is going to go on and tell what they wanted to do before and have her tell her story, because it's going to be hot ratings, and that's what they're about.
And it's something's fishy because Chris storms and he says, "Do not cut away for anything, no matter what happens."
And even before they go out, he tells Karen, they're backstage, and he's like, "I don't know if I can do this." She's like, "You have to." And it's like, all right, so something's building up here. And then the newscast starts, and Karen starts talking, and she's not following the teleprompter thing, because she's got a script she's supposed to be reading, but she's not. She's went rogue on him.
Yeah, so Kevin McCarthy, the head of the
studio,
like,
what is this? I didn't approve this. But Chris tells him to let her go, and she starts talking about people don't know what's really out there, and they need to know that there's monsters in the world, and she's gonna prove it to everyone. So she starts turning werewolf on camera on the news.
Her eyes turn yellow.
Yeah,
her head throws back.
Right, and she starts going through the stuff. Her face is stretching, hair's growing, and you can tell how sad she is that this is happening. And I wrote down on my notes here, she is the most adorable werewolf.
Oh, she is.
She almost looks like a
and
teddy
a little
bear.
tear runs
Yeah,
down.
it's
Like an Ewok, kind of.
I've thought Ewok too. And he did do effects for Star Wars, so
Yeah, makes
might
sense.
have pulled some Ewok tricks. But cutest little werewolf you ever seen on TV. And what we learned that she has arranged with Chris and told him that you have to do it is Chris shoots her with a silver bullet live on the newscast and takes her out. So her goal was to tell the world that werewolves are real and people need to know about this. And that's about the best way I can think to do it.
Yeah, but then it shows people watching the newscast from their home.
The one I wrote down that I liked the most was there's the people in the bar watching it, but then there's these two little kids watching it, and you hear the mom like, "What are you watching?" And it's like, "News lady turned into a werewolf." Gave me a chuckle, but so at the end, after this, it has cut to this bar, and you hear people saying like, that's Hollywood bullshit.
Yeah.
That's fake.
Nobody believes it.
Right. And goes down to the end of the bar, and I think it's the bar owner maybe. He's telling the cook to cook something for people that had just ordered. It's like, throw a couple burgers on, and he says, how do you like your burger fixed? And the camera pans over, and it's leather-clad Marcia, and she says, rare.
Yeah. And Marcia made it out.
Right. So, the werewolves live, and nobody believes the newscast, and the reign of terror will live on.
And credits roll, but did you see the post-credit scene? Did you watch through all the credits?
I didn't.
It's nothing major, but it cuts as soon as all the credits run up and they show the logo for the production company. It has the scene of Larry Talbot, 1941, Wolfman, where him and Maria, the old gypsy lady, she says, go now, and heaven help you.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Larry leaves the room.
Well, I still have the British Film Institute streaming app, so I can still watch it. And that's it. That's the Howling from 1981. So I don't want to say anything yet because I want to get into our reviews. So maybe I feel like we keep doing that on our episodes. Like we almost start reviewing before we go to the reviews.
Right.
So
it's hard not to.
You just want to jump right into it. So we're gonna go ahead and pause now. Oh, well, it's not really a pause, but we'll get into our reviews of The Howling.
Now that we've seen what there is to see, how many never not horror howls will be given?
Rich, since this was your pick, I will let you go first. What is your review, and how many never not horror howls do you give The Howling?
All right, as I stated at the beginning, very nostalgic movie for me. Watching it as a critic, it may have went down a little bit as a critic, as a movie a whole, but the practical effects, they're awesome. You can't hardly get any better, especially when you consider he was only 20 years old when he did this, and he was given like 100% freedom to create the werewolves as he wanted. With all that, the special effects, I like the story. But it's very rushed. There's not a lot of character development. The pacing is all over the place. It's jumps scene to scene. I was, like you said, I was confused on Terry and Chris's role, where at first I thought they was police officers or detectives, and turns out they were just investigative journalists that worked at the same. So that kind of threw me off a little bit, and I don't think I watched that very much when I was a kid. Like I said, we watched the werewolf transformations and the sex scenes. That's what we watched. And it was Laserdisc, so we could rewind, fast forward, rewind, slow motion. It had all the buttons, trust me. I know the slow motion button. But
Marcia.
But yeah, so there's confusion there. If you watch this movie, you really got to pay attention and maybe watch it twice. Because like I said, I was probably in my 40s before I realized what the hell was going on. I had no idea that they were trying to shed light on werewolves and try to bring them into humanity in a civil way. Nothing like that registered on me until I got older. And even then, they're watching it for this podcast. I was seeing stuff that didn't make sense to me then that do now. I love how they had Roger Corman, his cameo. I thought that was great because Joe Dante was a big Roger Corman fan, and he did that for a lot of the guys that came before him or came after him. I love John Carradine. He's one of my favorite characters in this. Old Crazy Earl. I think he does a great job. I think he was 88 years old when he did this, or something crazy like that.
Looked good for 88.
Yeah. I would recommend this to people. Definitely for the practical effects. I mean, it's almost a have to if you consider yourself a practical effects fan. It's something you have to see. The nostalgia. And so here we go. I'm going to go ahead and give my Never Not Horror howls, and I am giving it 3 howls.
3 howls,
which is middle of the road.
To me, on my personal rating scale, 3 out of 5 is a good movie.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's my lowest rating yet.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's still. Yeah, to me, that's a good movie.
Yeah, it's not a
good movie.
It's not a bad movie at all.
No, it's a good movie. All right, 3 howls from Rich. All right, well, like we established in the beginning, I had never seen this movie, so other than Dee Wallace and werewolves, I did not know what to expect at all. I really liked this movie. It was a lot more, and maybe because I didn't see it as a kid, so I was aware enough to pick up on the plot lines of like the serial killer sting in the beginning, and then the werewolf scuffle about how we live as werewolves at the end. I guess it was just more story than I expected from an 80s werewolf movie. Yeah, the performances were good. Dee Wallace is awesome in it. Special effects, I mean, I think you nailed it. Like, that is the absolute selling point of this movie. It was better than I expected it to be.
Good.
By quite a bit. I was really impressed with it. I would say, man, I feel like werewolf movies in general, I don't think there's a ton of good ones. So
you're right.
I don't know why it's so hard to pull off. There are some good ones. There's some like Silver Bullet I love. Yeah. American Werewolf in London, Wolfman. I mean, it can be done, but there's not a lot of great ones. And so by default, I mean, I've watched it twice now, prepping for the podcast, like very comfortably in my top 10 werewolf movies, if not top 5.
Wow.
I mean, it was, I came away liking it more than I expected I would. So, as far as the Never Not Howl ratings, I'm going to match you and give it 3 howls. I liked this movie. I mean, it's not like, for comparison, I gave Halloween 3.5, and it's not Halloween. Right. I mean, that's a better than average movie. So I liked it a lot. On first viewing, I think I was prepared to go 3.5, but watching it again, and because that's the way I do this, even if I've seen the movie 100 times, when we do it for this podcast, I'll watch it once to refresh, and then I'll watch it again and take notes as I go for the plot walkthrough. The second time, I was a little more picky. The first time, I was just like, damn, this is a good werewolf movie.
Yeah.
Why did I not watch this before? But yeah, I'm with you. We are going to agree with 3.5 howls.
3.
Oh, I'm sorry, 3. Yeah, not 3.5. 3. Lost my. See, I'm making the algorithm weird because I'm giving it 2 different ratings in the same.
Oh no, the algorithm's gonna hate us.
For the record, 3 howls. All right, well, that will do it for our episode 5 of the Howling. The next, so actually, an announcement here. So, Rich and I have been discussing here, and we really enjoy doing this. And both of us we want to go to a weekly release schedule. I know, I don't know about you guys in listener land, but I hate waiting 2 weeks.
Yeah, it
for
seems
a
like
new
a
episode.
long time.
Takes forever. And so we're going to switch to a weekly release schedule, but we also did not want to shortchange the amount of research. I hit puberty. We didn't want to shortchange the amount of research that we do, and so trying to do the full deep dive and all the prep work that we do for a full movie review, I didn't necessarily want to do that for 2 episodes or an episode each week, because the way we record, we're going to record 2 back to back. So to save ourselves from, I don't want to give any movie not a full look. So
Right.
So this style, every episode we've done so far, the full movie deep dive, that's still gonna be every other week. But the in between weeks is gonna be a more casual discussion based episode. So it could be a ranking episode, like a look at a certain actor or director, and looking at their portfolio, if you will. Different things. We'll take listener suggestions for ideas, things to talk through. So it'll be a more casual thing, but it'll give you something every week to listen to. So the first one of those is going to be out next week. So episode 5, The Howling, is going to come next. Well, now when you're hearing this. And then next week we'll start our weekly release schedule. And since it's not right on the nose, which would have been cool, but we're a little slow on the take here. But since there was a Friday the 13th this month in June, and it's the only Friday the 13th this year,
Yep.
We are going to have our first bonus episode, which will be episode 6, is going to be our personal ranking of the Friday the 13th franchise. So Rich and I will go through our list, 12, because we're counting Freddy vs. Jason and the remake, so there's 12 movies to rank. And we're going to go through and tell you what our personal preferences are on those. So that'll be a fun thing. I'm excited to go weekly and give you guys more content. So stay tuned for that and give us your feedback and all that. So, Rich, are you excited?
I am super excited. I can't wait to hear your ranking on Friday the 13th.
Yeah, we're going to keep those secret so that it'll be a surprise when we do it. So, yeah. So, good news. We're going weekly. Yeah, starting now if you're hearing this. So come back next week, and we will talk about our Friday the 13th rankings. The following week will be my pick. I haven't picked a movie yet, so it'll be something for sure. I'll make a choice soon, and we'll do another movie deep dive. If you want to support us outside of the show, Rich Hansel on YouTube, youtube.com/Rich Hansel. SteveClarkBooks.com. You can check out my books. Make sure you like, rate, review, do what you do on the podcast platform of your choosing. And come back and see us next time, where whatever it is, it's never not horror. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You can't not do that now.
I forgot.
Are they slow moving, Chief?
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.